What's up? What is up? We're just having fun, right? That's why we're here. We're having fun. Why not? It's what day? It's Thursday, December 2nd, 2021. I want to say a heartfelt thank you to each and every one of you for taking the time to enjoy this program. Let's start out with the free stuff. And we'll kind of roll into the meat of the program, what I'm looking to do. I want to let you know, before I get to all that other stuff, there's a lot of chats, right? And so I see a lot of requests, and I see you keep asking the same questions. I'm sorry, like I'm doing the whole thing, so I may miss it. But I want to let you know I appreciate you. I appreciate you trying. I read all afterwards. I read everything. So I see you. I hear you. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. Let's jump right into it. I'm Big Cheds on Twitter. Check me out there. I do a lot of academic observations, trading psychology, stuff like that. I've been having fun. I've been doing that for many years, and I'm really enjoying it. My book's on Amazon, Trading Wisdom, paperback, Kindle, hardcover. I have Audible in like 2 weeks. I'm almost done with Audible. Check that out. If you can't afford the book, or your country that you can't buy it from Amazon, free versions on YouTube. Trading Wisdom. I've got 9 lessons. I'm going to do all 50. Give me time. Check the book out for free there. Check out my educational live streams if you're brand new to trading. You want to know where to start. You want to start right here. Educational live streams. I explain my whole setup. They're an hour long. Check it out, and then check out these emergency live streams. These are pretty rare. I'm just kind of messing around. I have an idea of a few things I want to talk about tonight, but I do want to tell you, if you enjoy my technical analysis, you definitely want to think about Bitcoin.live. Best-in-class educational platform for crypto. I'm one of several contributors. We have an amazing team. I do 2 long-form video updates every week. Doesn't matter if I'm on vacation. And I just did a great video. I'm really proud of last night's video. Put my heart into it. We have an amazing sale right now. You can get a quarterly membership for like under $100. Definitely worth taking a shot at. And so I hope you enjoy that. Now that I've got that out of the way, and I appreciate you letting me offer that to you, we're going to start out with lesson 50, right? Look for relative strength. All right. So I want to talk about the concept of relative strength, right? So, and why this is important. All right. So you have funds, you have limited funds, and you can't play everything, right? You can't just like buy the whole market. So you need to know, like, what should I play? What's strong? How do I know where to go? What should I play? You look for relative strength. So what that means is, like, what's doing the best? What's has been the best performer? Because you want to throw your money towards relative strength, right? That's the kind of concept. That's the kind of concept I keep saying, how I'm thinking about it. Throw your money towards relative strength, right? So let's jump into it. So I say in the book, quote, during those key market moments, scan through a list of your 8 to 10 favorite plays on the 15-minute chart and look for relative strength. Focus there to generate a better trade setup. So I'd maybe even take an hour chart maybe. But so that's like, you have your watch list, right? And already I've recommended many times that you should have a smaller watch list, and whatever you play, it needs to be something you're watching. So play your watch list, trim it down to 15, 20, and know those charts in and out, right? Don't keep adding names to this list. You can have no idea what you're looking at. Like, you need muscle memory. You need to feel confident and in control. So, scan your watch list, look for relative strength, right? You want to see what's doing the best. So I say in the book, when everything is pulling back and the market is showing weakness, that is the time to start to watch for relative strength. In an environment of sell pressure across the board during some kind of market-wide event, it's worthwhile to see which charts are putting in higher lows and which ones are not, right? I'm going to show you an example of this in a second. I say in the book, consider what was bullish before this across-the-board drawdown. The charts that were bullish beforehand had relative strength and are most likely to bottom than charts that had been lagging. Find the charts that have relative strength and then prepare to position yourself there with a good trade idea and a stop loss, okay? So what am I talking about? All right, what am I talking about? So why do I mention this? Relative strength, right? I'm talking about SOL versus LTC, right? I put out a tweet. They were the same price at 191. So let's look at SOL. SOL is let's identify the trend. It's an uptrend, rising MA200, simple moving average. At this moment, the price is above all moving averages, the 20 MA, the middle Bollinger, the simple moving average, the 8 and the 34 exponential. And you can note how they had a bear cross that's kind of coming back up. And then above the MA50, which is pretty much the most important level on this chart in terms of moving averages, and you see how the price has regained it. Point is, it's an uptrend. So we identify the uptrend. That's a strong trend. So how do we apply this knowledge? Well, if you note, starting, middle of November, we had a pretty decent drawback here across the board. So the market was under pressure. So we're going to look at Sol's under pressure, right? And how about LTC? It was also under pressure, right? The same time period. Now you say, okay, well, LTC also kind of looks like an uptrend as well. All right, but if you zoom out, this is all price action after this big drop. It's all lower high. Everything here is a potential dead cat in theory until it tests and breaks that high, right? And you look at Sol and you're in price discovery, right? That's the different context. So it's an uptrend here. It's a downtrend trying to reverse, and you've got the MA200 going down, right? The Litecoin daily chart, an unconfirmed downtrend right now. And if the price breaks below the blue line, you're going to have a confirmed downtrend, right? You've got the price again rejecting, right here at the highs of the May bounce, the delineator, how you look at alts. If it's strong or weak, is it above that dead cat from May, right? Litecoin had it broke below it. So it's weak. If it breaks back up above it, you can buy there at 230, right? Recapture that level. But for right now, it's an unconfirmed downtrend. So the point I'm making, not SHIB, the point I'm making here is Sol, right? So Sol is stronger, right? Why is that important? As I said in the book, you want to think about, as I said, you want to think about what was strongest before the drop. Consider what was bullish before the across the board drawdown. The charts that were bullish beforehand have relative strength, right? Why does that matter? Okay, when you get to this relief rally, right? The price has gone down so far at this point. What is this? Sol, we dropped like 28%, and even more, almost 20 days. So a pretty decent drawdown here. And you look at Sol, okay? Sol at that point too, that was a lower Bollinger dip. In this whole kind of price cluster, this consolidation area, really only had one here, one there. I mean, these have been value buys. All right, but the point is, after that big drop, everything bounces. You get that relief rally. Let me bring that back. You get that beginning of relief, that relief rally. It's the point I'm making. So when you get this kind of candle action, right, the big red and then a small green at the lower Bollinger, and then you get this follow through, you see these lower shadows, you see that kind of relief rally, and the whole market was doing it. There's Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin, there's Sol, there's Litecoin. So you say relative strength. I have $500. I'm either going to do LTC or Sol, and at that critical decision point, right there, you go with relative strength, and look what you've gotten, right? There's LTC and there's Sol, right? There's a whole concept of relative strength. So play what's strong, right? Sol gave you a great buy signal here too, recapturing that key 220 level. So you got, essentially you got that two-level filter where you got the diagonal break, and then you get some type of horizontal break. Actually, it would have been like that. And I'm going to show you that on Bitcoin. So that's from lesson 50. I wanted to talk about lesson 2 on Bitcoin, and I wanted to talk about this time in the middle of July, right? Lesson 2, what's the rush, right? By the way, thank you to everyone for your support, and I love the feedback. I love seeing all the pictures of the book and everything. Lesson 2, all right, what's the rush? If you're in a rush to trade, don't be surprised if your money is in a rush to go somewhere else, okay? Every trade you execute should be well thought out ahead of time. Later in the chapter. So this is what's important here. Most of the time in these bottoming situations, I lose money when I fool around throwing in bids before any type of bottoming pattern has started to form. Wait for things to settle down and identify a solid idea that you can use as a fail point, right? So think about that, right? You're stubbing your toe, you're cutting your hand because you keep trying to catch that falling knife. It's the fallacy. I had a lot of conversations with people on Twitter today about, I want to buy the red chart. I want to buy the weak chart because it can bounce more and because it has, it has a higher upside. It's like you're crazy. You're buying negative. You're buying, you're going against momentum. You need to go with the trend. That's everything. And don't just guess when it's going to random. I'm at a loss for words because don't guess when the trend's going to reverse. It will tell you, right? The price will tell you. It will give you something to work from, and because bottoms are slow to form. Let's see. Yeah, momentum has a way of making itself clear if you are willing to be observant and look for clues in the price action about when the trend is changing. All right. More times than not, bottoms are slower to form, right? More times than not, yeah, bottoms are slower to form than you think. So you get that kind of heads up ahead of time. And here with Bitcoin, we had a pretty clear indication of a trend reversal. We had the diagonal break, right? And then we had the horizontal, that lower high break, right? So, don't spend your time trying to guess when a downtrend is going to reverse. Stick with momentum, stick with strength. Like if you're looking at your altcoin chart and you're holding it and it's going down, ask yourself why. Like you owe that to yourself. You better explain to yourself every day why you're still holding a losing trade, right? If your trade plan failed, get out. If you're playing weakness, why, right? Play strength. You can always, I hear people say, if I cut now, it's the bottom. What if I sold the bottom? Well, you'll know because then you'll see momentum and you can buy the break. Like if you say, oh, I sold here at the bottom, fine, you got back in at like 34K, but then you still get the whole ride all the way up here to 70. So it's like you wait for confirmation of the reversal, all right? What's up, everybody? Catching up here in the chat room. I want to say I appreciate all the love. It's good to see everybody here. Let's see here. Yeah, okay, Regan. Chart question. At what point does CRV become buyable? Confirmation. That's a great question. That's what I want to know. People ask me, what do I think about the project? What do I think about the fundamentals? I don't care about fundamentals. I believe everything works itself into the chart, right? The chart decides everything that works for me, eliminating the noise. So when would CRV become a buy? I think it's a decent buy. I'd say MA50. I think I have that marked. You get that rising support. It's a little tricky to really define the horizontal zone, but I think maybe right in that area, and maybe a little bit lower even. So I think if you're starting to scale in here, fine, but the best buy in terms of like defining your thesis, which means, I say this in the book. Here's how you slow yourself down from over trading. You say, okay, write down on a piece of paper like you're trying to convince someone else if they should enter the trade. And you say, all right, I'm entering here because the price is retesting the MA50. It's a rising moving average. And by doing that, if you then close below the 50 once or maybe even two candles, then that's a hard cut. You hard cut the trade because your whole idea was to your friend, hey, buy here because the MA50 is holding, right? And that's the whole concept of defining your risk. So every time you enter a trade, you need to know when the trade's going to fail so you can save the rest of the money in the trade, right? There's no Banter show tonight. I forgot to mention, go to Banter, hit the subscribe, go to playlist, and I have a great group of episodes there. I got 11 episodes. Next week, we're just resetting things with the holidays. So CRV, I would say MA50 if I was to answer in terms of where I might want to buy there. Let's see what else is going on in the chat room. Mana review for J-Hole. Okay. Let's take a look at Mana. I mean, it's had a little bit of consolidation here. I think we're gonna observe. All right, so you've got kind of when you have these strong uptrends, you get kind of that like primary uptrend, right, and that secondary trend, right? And it's not necessarily as much about like exactly the line and where you draw it because it's more about the trend than the line. Remember that. Like that's the phrase. It's more about the trend than the line. So what you can observe here is the price is not in that initial uptrend phase because you did break and then lose, right, that prior high. So that's a warning sign, but not like a sell warning sign, but more of a heads up that consolidation's coming, right? And you get the MA20. I think you're looking at MA20 as a value buy area. I think from kind of a top tier support, you'd want to see MA20 hold. But I think lower than that, you have all sorts of targeted support levels upon which you can kind of structure a trade. That's what's nice about this type of chart. So if you're trying to like bottom fish, you'd want to bottom fish Mana and like, does it bounce here or does it bounce here, right? It's like, or maybe down here at the MA50, right? You're so much better off trying to quote unquote bottom fish when a correction will finish, right? Because it's like a bull flag is a correction in an advance. So you wait for the correction to finish and then the trend continues. So that's like how you want to, if you're going to bottom fish, right? Is like, fall in love with the downtrend of an advance, of an uptrend. So that's kind of the point I'm making. Let's see. Auction. Lila asked me about auction. I don't think I've ever heard of that one. You folks are in some interesting ones. All right. Let's see. Yeah, there's no price history. I can't really do maybe there's one more, but you need price history to do technical analysis. Technical analysis is historical price study. Let's try these other two. And it's basically trend analysis. That's identifying the trend and, okay, we got something there. It's identifying the trend and then kind of looking at where that trend would either strengthen or weaken. And so we get a little bit of a trend here. We've got at least a 200 MA. It's just a sideways chart. I think what you want to look at from a bullish standpoint is you want to build that higher low structure. You've got a clear low structure. Now you've got a higher low. Now you've got the higher low and another one here, and it may be heading back towards challenging this area. So let's say you're in this. I would potentially look to protect myself if it broke this low, right? Because from that point, maybe you're heading down to 13 to 10. That's a pretty big cut. So you want to understand on the chart where you can increase and where you can decrease your risk. That's how you kind of want to break those down. What's going on here? So Kristan is asking about SBR. If it's been stagnant, I mean, I don't even have to look at the chart. Like that means there's no volatility. So wait for volatility, right? You know, don't hang around in something without volatility. I mean, that's investing. That's not trading. If you want to, like, what's the point of parking your money in several illiquid trading vehicles? Then you're just going to sit there and refresh the screen and be frustrated all day and lose sleep over it. Like, you got to think about how you're managing your risk profile. All right. Can I check XYO? Sure. I don't think I've heard of that one either. Thanks, everybody. Please hit like. Please hit subscribe, by the way. And thanks for watching. So, I mean, there's not a lot of price history here. I don't know what to say, but you've got a horizontal and potentially MA50 as well. So around that like 5 cent area. It's okay, but like, you know, play something with price history. You know, give yourself a little bit of an advantage. Maybe I'll do one or two more and then I'm going to kind of cut it. This has been fun. I'm just going to look around here for some good ones. Yeah, all right, we can do Matic for sure. I mean, Matic's bullish. I mean, you don't really need to. It's one you want to play. It's relative strength. And we talked about, I'm pretty sure I covered it on a live stream before. It's MA200. That's your support. That's your buy the dip level. If you get there. So like on a bullish chart, you want to have levels marked that you'd want to buy the dip. And it will help you to have conviction. It will help you have conviction if and when it gets there. Is it this one? What's the rush? It's basically a point where I make that, you know, you have a plan ahead of time. Here we go. All right, this is what I want to make. So have a level marked on the chart that you'd like want to buy. So let's say that's here, okay, like $1.70. It's at 240 right now, 214, and it's really bullish. But you'd say, okay, I want to buy here at 175. Let's say it starts to pull back and it looks nasty, right? It looks scary. How many times have you studied a chart and come up with a great plan for entering on a retracement, but as soon as it happens, you get nervous and change your mind? I've been there myself in the past, but now I stick with my plan. Trust myself and see the idea all the way through. These larger market drawdowns offer us the opportunity to buy dips in established uptrends, which is a great way to build your portfolio, right? That's the whole point. You got to retrain how you think. You got to retrain how you think. Relative strength, right? You got to retrain how you think, you know, play strength, right? Not weakness, you know, wait for confirmation on your trade idea, you know, and stop kind of messing around. Be more precise with your money. So, all right, I'm on Twitter. Let's get that music going a little bit. That's kind of fun. All right, let's get that music flowing a little bit. So I'm on Twitter. I'm at Big Cheds. I probably tweet too much. I'm going to be tweeting a lot this week. We have an amazing sale at Bitcoin.live. I'm a proud founding analyst. You get access to over 3 years of my videos. Like the sale now is ridiculous. You get a quarterly membership for $97. And it's not just my content. It's the whole team. You get everything. This is the best thing. If you really want to learn long form analysis, what I do on Twitter is I throw out a lot of ideas. I'm just kind of messing around. This is more, I'm going to teach you how to fish, and you're going to hopefully become more in control with your trading. The book is on Amazon. I've got 3 Kindle, paperback, and hardcover, and Audible's coming finally. You asked, I listened, right? So that's going to be out in a couple weeks. Let's see, get some free stuff going on YouTube, Ched's Trading. You can't afford the book, you can't buy it. Go ahead and check out that playlist. I'm doing every lesson, the whole lesson. You hear me kind of explaining, expanding the thought. That's just me to you. Check that out. Check out my educational live streams. If you don't think you're ready to sign up for a premium educational site, check these out. This will get you started. This will make you feel a lot more confident. All right, these are great. I stand behind them. And if you like a kind of variety show, I'll go to Crypto Banter, hit subscribe, check that playlist, Trading Wisdom. I have 11 episodes, unbelievable guests. This is some great stuff. We're going to keep it rolling. So definitely check that out. So guys, this has been fun. Guys and gals, it's been super fun. I'm streaming a lot this week, but it's not going to be like this forever. This is just a little temporary thing. I'm having some fun. And so more than anything, I really appreciate you listening. I appreciate your feedback. I appreciate your support. I am who I am. I'm here because of you. So thank you for that. And I guess more than anything, I hope you enjoyed yourself tonight. I know I did.